Herb Wisner here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Cowabunga collection going for the S Tournament Champion achievement. This is to beat the Super Nintendo version of TMNT Tournament Fighters, so make sure you pick that. Now, just like the Genesis version, you cannot use the watch feature as that's not going to provide the playthrough that you need for this particular achievement, so do keep that in mind. Once you get to the title screen, we're going to go into options to adjust some things in our favor. Make sure you don't touch anything except for the round timer, so you have to leave the game level at the default 3. You can crank game time down to 30 seconds, but everything else you have to leave the same. So make sure you do that, and then just exit to save your settings. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you start up the game. You have to do this in Story Battle, as Tournament is not going to work. So Story Battle is going to be the main campaign that is going to count for this achievement. So make sure you choose that, and then make sure you choose your character. I'm going to recommend you use Leo as you can have the best cheesing method with him. What you want to do basically is you want to make sure you want to back up, and then you want to make sure you spam the quarter circle forward X attack, which is going to be his version of a fireball. So just keep throwing that up, and then just make sure you throw up some mixes every now and again. Your goal is to basically just turtle in the corner, and then just keep throwing up projectiles, and then run the timer out. The AI can be a little difficult on default difficulty, so make sure you do keep that in mind. Your goal is to pretty much just go 4 timeouts the most you can. And then if you do end up taking a significant amount of damage, you can always use the manual rewind feature, which is going to be to hold left bumper, and then just rewind at a spot where you can get your rhythm back, and then just keep cheesing the opponent. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to do best of 3 for every single match. So that's going to be 2 rounds of this, where we're going to have to run the timeout. So this game is going to be quite lengthy, even though there are going to be less total fights than the Genesis version. We are going to have to get through 9 fights, but it's going to be 2 rounds each, so a total of 18 rounds of 30 seconds that we have to burn through. So make sure you do keep that in mind. The fights aren't going to have any stage selects as well, so we are going to have to go in random order. But thankfully, as long as we kept the settings exactly like this, we should be able to get to the end and then fight the boss that we need in order to get this particular achievement. So just keep up at it. Again, this is going to take a lot of patience, especially if you roll a character who is also going to be throwing projectiles. Be a little careful with them, but of course you do have the rewind feature, and of course this is going to be a 90s game that is going to have very manipulatable AI, so make sure you do take advantage of that, and then just fumble your way through all of the fights. Obviously, make sure you throw in some mix-ups every now and again in case the quarter circle forward X cheese is not working, and then you should be able to slowly whittle down every opponent a-okay. So as long as you're keeping your health above them at all times and you are running that clock out, you should be good. Here we are on the stage 4 enemy, who's going to be Shredder for some reason. He's not going to be one of the end bosses. He's just going to appear randomly in the middle sometimes. So just make sure you take care of him, but don't get too excited that the game is almost over, because we are going to have another half of fighters to go through. So get through him, and then it's going to be back to random TMNT characters or just random aliens in general. So just make sure you get through the next few bosses, and then we're just going to slowly cheese our way to the end. This run is going to take quite a bit of patience, and honestly is going to be the most time-consuming part of the entire collection. So hopefully you saved all of your energy for this particular game. But we're going to be on to this lady, who isn't going to be Karai, who is going to be the boss we're looking for. So again, don't get excited that we happen to roll her. This is going to be some other random martial artist. But make sure you take her out, and then it's going to be on to the next fight against this dude. So just make sure you take him out as well. And then again, we're sticking to the same old cheesing strategy. Make sure you get into that corner and make sure you turtle. And then just make sure you just slowly chip everyone out. Nice and steady, and then we should be on to the next person. So fight number 8 is going to be the penultimate fight, which is going to be the mirror match. You're going to fight the clone version of yourself. So this one can be a little tough, as they're going to have all of our abilities, cheesing method included. But of course we have our big old human brain, and of course we can always out-cheese the AI. So just make sure you turn the cheese on, and then get to out-turtling the turtle. Once we are finally done with the mirror match, we're going to be on to the actual real boss fight, so make sure you just get to that. This is going to be Karai, the person we were looking for. You're going to fight her up here on this train. Make sure you just take her out. She can be a little tough, but nothing too unmanageable, and might as well just stick to the same old strategy we've been using this whole time. If it's not broke, don't fix it, so just make sure you just slowly whittle her down, and then once you chip her out for the last time, you should be good for the win, which is going to complete us our game, and then hopefully get us our achievement. Once you get the you win, you're going to get your points, and then you're going to get some end game dialogue, but more importantly, it's going to be right here where you should unlock your achievement. 100 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.